In the global mobile industry, something is happening that for a long time no one even tried to discuss seriously. Nokia, a brand many considered a forgotten relic of the 2000s, is suddenly returning to the center of attention. A company whose fame seemed forever tied to the era of button phones has unexpectedly found itself on the verge of the greatest technological reboot in its modern history. According to insiders cooperating with Reuters, Light Reading, and Helsingin Sanomat, Nokia's engineering divisions have been working for more than 2 years on a device that could completely change the perception of the brand. The world's first fully transparent next-generation Nokia smartphone. The project, hidden under the internal name Nokia Spectra, was long seen as a kind of experimental lab fantasy. But in 2025, everything changed. The company for the first time came close to a functioning prototype capable of returning Nokia to the top tier of global manufacturers. What makes the situation even more explosive is that Nvidia, the company that has become the driving force of the entire AI revolution and recently invested more than $1 billion in Nokia, has now shown interest in the project. And although the investment is officially described as support for AI infrastructure and future networks, analysts at Bloomberg Intelligence say the deal has a hidden purpose. Nvidia sees a chance to enter the market of future transparent devices and possibly become part of one of the boldest experiments in the history of the mobile industry. The intrigue intensified in early autumn, when several Finnish journalists reported that so-called segmented glass modules had been spotted inside Nokia's research center in Tampere, panels that resemble no existing smartphone form factor. One source claims engineers were testing an unusual structure, a glass block only about 6 to 7 millimeters thick, capable of displaying information across its entire surface while remaining fully transparent when the device is in idle mode. For the first time since the legendary Lumia era, the company has returned to what it always did better than anyone else, creating things that are ahead of their time rather than chasing the market. According to specialists working with European OLED suppliers, Nokia has advanced so far that it has managed to assemble several fully functional prototypes, each combining a transparent display, under-panel optics, hidden internal components, and a new system of glass layers based on semi-transparent composites. If this information is confirmed, Nokia Spectra may become the first device in which the manufacturer has successfully concealed the battery, SoC platform, antennas, and cameras within a semi-transparent structure without breaking the effect of pure glass. The leaks began as ordinary technical speculation, but then took on a completely different scale. First, messages about unusual patent filings by Nokia in Europe and South Korea appeared in narrow engineering channels. Then, researchers at MyDrivers found documentation describing an optical structure with full light transmission and an integrated display system. But the real explosion happened after several Digitimes Europe journalists hinted that the Spectra project had reached the stage of late engineering testing, meaning it is already close to becoming public. What is remarkable is that Nokia, a company many had written off and viewed merely as a network equipment manufacturer, may strike a blow against modern industry giants, Apple, Samsung, and Google. Bloomberg analysts even stated that if Nokia Spectra turns out to be a viable product, Apple, for the first time in years, may find itself in the position of a follower rather than a trendsetter. But the most surprising part is the involvement of Nvidia. Investing more than $1 billion, the company has not only secured its place in the development of 6G networks. According to experts, Nvidia has also become interested in using its graphical AI platforms to build smart transparent interfaces, display systems where content adapts to the environment and can change its opacity in real time thanks to GPU computing. Rumors say Nokia and Nvidia engineers are already testing prototypes in which the transparent display can automatically darken the background, making the interface readable under any lighting conditions, as if the glass becomes a screen only when the user needs it. The task seems unbelievable considering what transparent panel developers have gone through trying to bring the technology to mass market. Transparent OLED displays were unstable, fragile, required external electronics blocks, and could not provide sufficient brightness. The same principle was used in transparent TVs, where all electronics were moved into a massive base. In a smartphone, such a trick is impossible. Everything, battery, chip, camera, sensors, must be inside. This was the most serious barrier Nokia had to overcome, and judging by the leaks, Finnish engineers succeeded. According to one expert from IT Home, Nokia developed a new layout structure in which all key modules are placed either in an ultra-thin rim about 2 millimeters thick or integrated into the bottom edge, made of a special semi-transparent alloy. Using this line, engineers managed to place antennas, a vibration system, a segmented type battery, and even a new cooling module. Everything else became part of the transparent glass structure. But the most difficult task is the cameras. In a regular smartphone, the lenses are visible. In a transparent one, they are impossible. Therefore, Nokia uses a new infrared hidden sensor technology in which the cameras are entirely under glass and their operation becomes noticeable only when activated. According to sources, Nokia is creating a device that not only demonstrates transparency, but functions as a full-fledged flagship smartphone with a powerful processor, high brightness, AI-driven interface effects, and an unusual display system. This project may become not just an experiment, but the beginning of a new design era where smartphones turn into glass objects that disappear into space. An IDC report already states that the launch of Nokia Spectra could lead to a shift in ecological and aesthetic paradigms. Brands will compete not by the number of cameras, but by their ability to create invisible devices. If Nokia indeed presents Spectra in 2026, as sources suggest, the smartphone industry will find itself at a new bifurcation point. Apple will face not only the threat of losing visual leadership, but also a psychological effect. Millions of users will remember that Nokia is not just an old brand, but a company that once set the rules of the game. And if now it returns with a device ahead of its time, it will become a symbol that innovation can come from where no one expected it. Nvidia, according to analysts, may gain a strategic advantage from this project. Its AI modules will become part of a new generation of glass devices, and its investment will become part of one of the loudest technological revolutions of the decade. And now the entire tech industry is frozen in rare anticipation. For the first time in many years, it is Nokia that cannot follow trends, but completely rewrite them. If the company maintains its development pace and avoids critical technical barriers, the world may see a device that becomes a true rupture in the history of mobile technology. Only one question remains: what the final version of Nokia Spectra will look like. For now, one thing is clear. If the leaks are accurate, we are about to see a product that places an equals sign between science fiction and reality. And for the first time in a long while, it is Nokia that may become the symbol of a new era of smartphones, where the device in your hand is not a body or a screen, but pure living glass infused with artificial intelligence.